Yo, that's really bright. Alright, so today I'm going to walk you through my recording setup. And yeah, this is the first time I'm holding the camera like this. This is very different. So this is my room. As you can tell, it's very orange. That's orange. Alright, so I figured I would walk you through my recording setup. And just a little disclaimer, I in no way claim to be like master recording engineer or guitarist, but I figured that maybe if I walked you through some stuff, then maybe you could learn from my experiences. I gotta look into the camera, that's what I gotta do. Alright. Alright, so let's start with the guitars. So these are my guitars. This is the only one I really use, actually. This is a Schecter Damien 7-string. I'm pretty sure they don't make them anymore. Last time I looked online, I couldn't find anything that was new, only used. So apparently they don't make them anymore, but it's pretty cool and I like it a lot. These are little bat inlays. They're all batty and stuff. And all of these guitars you see here, I do not even use. This is a BC Rich. My very first guitar. This is a bass. Never use that anymore. This is an Ibanez. Really annoying. And then that's my Ibanez electric acoustic, which is way in the back, which really, obviously means that I use it all the time. And that is Cards Against Humanity, and that is salt. Just, in case I need some salt. Alright, so if you want to get really into it, this is a Mogami cable. This is the cable that John Petrucci uses, apparently, and anything that he does, like, if he does something, that probably means it's good. I can't get the word in there, but it's on there. Trust me, it's Mogami. Interfaces. This is my Scarlett Focusrite Solo. I've been using this for like a couple years now, and it's been really good to me, but obviously it's called Solo, and so it only has one input right there. And I just got this Axe-Fx used, and I need two inputs. I need two XLR input thingies, and so that's why I just got this Behringer, whatever, Euphoria, which has two of those inputs. And there is a Scarlett that has two inputs, but it's more expensive, obviously. And apparently, according to my guitar teacher, if it's at this price range, it really doesn't matter that much. Anyway, Behringer is generally cheaper, and so apparently it's just as good as the Scarlett version of this kind of device, but it's cheaper. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. And also, it has these cool little thingies where there's these two XLR inputs, but also you can put a 1/4-inch input like this guitar cable. And I think that is so freaking awesome. My friend told me about that, and it completely blew my mind. I was like, holy shit, that's cool. Alright, and this is the Axe-Fx. I still have to figure out how to use this, which is why it's just like sitting here not being used. How to record with it and stuff. But I'm really excited, and the tones are like 1,000 times better than what I'm used to, which is Amplitube. And I'll get to that whole Amplitube situation in a little bit. That's actually a pretty interesting situation. I have a pretty unique story about the whole Amplitube experience. These are my headphones. I'm very pleased with these headphones. These are Sony Dynamic Stereo Headphones MDR 7506 Professional. It would help if I actually got the name in there, and if it wasn't blurry. Anyway, so apparently really awesome producer Andrew Sheps uses these. And he, I'm pretty sure, produced a lot of albums for Metallica and a whole lot of really great bands. So, again, if he uses those headphones, and they're actually pretty cheap, they're only like $120. They're on the cheaper end of good quality headphones. So if he uses those, then I'm going to use those, and especially because it's pretty cheap. Alright, so don't really pay attention to these speakers because they're kind of crappy. They're not like monitors, obviously. They're just kind of commercial brand. They're called Creative. Nah. And yeah, I mean, they're pretty good. They're just not like, they're not monitors, I don't know if you can tell, but this room isn't really ideal for recording because it doesn't have an appropriate acoustic treatment and all that stuff. And these are all just random pictures of people who I like. I basically use just these headphones, and right now that gets the job done. I eventually would like a space where I could have good acoustic treatment, and it's just bigger, and then I'll get some nice friggin' monitors, and then that'll be great. But right now, yeah, headphones get the job done. Moving on to the computer. This is an interesting part. This is, what is it, a Dell Inspiron Windows 10. And it's like a pretty good computer, I like it, but when it comes to freaking recording music with Amplitube, which is what I use, it is, honestly, that's been a huge thing with me. There's a whole situation where I got this computer thinking that it was going to be great for recording with Amplitube, because that's what the dude told me, and it's really not. I could get into that situation in another video, but right now I'm just going to go over the setup in general. Now this is my state-of-the-art tripod. It's called a Harry Potter book. And so I'm going to put that under a camera right now, so it can be a little higher. Yeah, running in the heat of the moment. Alright. This is Amplitube. It's a program that I use. I used to use, what was it, Gearbox by Line 6, and it just really was not very realistic, and it was just not the best kind of thing. I started using Amplitube, and I like it a lot more. It's still not the best, and that's why I got the Axe-Fx. Axe-Fx is just really realistic sounding. I love it. But this is Amplitube, and it's okay. I'm not going to get really deep into my opinions about Amplitube right now, but I will say that they're mixed. They're very mixed. And I can get that into another video. That could actually maybe take a while to kind of get through. But this is just generally, you know, I just wanted to show this because this is what I use. And I usually use this Angle amp for my tones, for the distorted tones, you know, the rhythm and the lead and stuff. I really, really like how Angle sounds. You know, I have these presets here. This is like, what? Gilmore preset. You got Joe Satriani kind of preset, which I like. This is for if you want it to sound like always with me, always with you kind of thing. I don't know how to play it, but whatever. I would say for the price, it's pretty good. It's good for the price. Axe-Fx is better and has more options and stuff, but it's also more expensive. So I would say for the price, Amplitube, I think it's like around $150 or something like that. I got it for like $90 because I go to Berklee. We get like a student discount, but it's like $150 typically, and I would say for the price, it's good. It gets the job done. But I should also say that I can only speak from my own experience. I'm going to get into this little rant, I think. So I can only speak from my own experience, but I got this Dell Inspiron Windows 10, and really, okay, so I asked the guy at the store if he thought that it was going to work with recording music and Amplitube and stuff, and he was just totally like, yeah, yep, it's going to work. It's like an i5 processor, and he said that's totally good, and it does not, unfortunately. And so it sort of works, but when you put it through Reaper, which I'll get to in a second, my DAW, if you put it through Reaper and you create like 7+ tracks in this setup, it starts to get really slow and choppy. And it has like 8 GB RAM, and apparently you only need like 2 GB of RAM to run Amplitube. So apparently I have enough RAM. I'm not really sure what's going on, but I think it actually says, and I should have just read the Amplitube manual thing first just to see the requirements, but I'm pretty sure it does not say i5 processor for the requirements. It says other kinds of processors. But the guy just kind of, I guess he just assumed that it would be okay, but I really should have just looked at the requirements. So I'm not trying to like recommend certain things or whatever. I'm just saying this was my experience. The i5 processor with Dell Inspiron Windows 10 does not run Amplitube effectively. Unless you just want to run it through the DAW. I mean, not the DAW, the standalone plugin thing. That works totally fine. And if you want to run just like up to 5 tracks on your recording thing, you know, that works too. But any more than that, it starts to get really choppy, and it's just not even doable. And that's another reason why I got Axe-Fx, because I'm just totally getting into this rant that I didn't think I was going to go into. So I got Axe-Fx, and the cool thing about that is that all the processing, or I guess at least most of it, gets done within the actual device itself, the hardware. But because Amplitube doesn't have hardware, it's all a software program, all the processing has to be done by your computer. It tends to require a lot of CPU from your computer. Eventually I'm going to switch over to Axe Effects. Right now I'm using Amplitube, and I'll still use it, and I'll try to struggle through it right now. But I mean, if you have a computer that can run it, then it is a good program for the price, I would say. Alright, now this is the DAW that I use. This is Reaper. They say it's not a free program, and I guess it technically isn't, but if you just use the evaluation version, then it's kind of free. And it has a lot of great features on it, even if you don't have like the paid version. But if you want all the features, and I guess you get the paid version, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But even without the paid version, it has a whole lot of features, and I haven't run into a problem yet. There's just a lot of stuff you can do. It's really great. So yeah, this is what I do. This is Reaper. It's just like really any other DAW. I mean, they're all like kind of different in their own unique way, but they're all kind of the same, essentially. That's about it. I was using EasyDrummer, but the thing about EasyDrummer is that, yeah, it's easy, which is great, and I really like that about it, but it's not the best, you know? So there's a reason why Get Good Drums is called Good Drums, and EasyDrummer is called EasyDrummer. I mean, that can be debated, I guess. It's just that personally, again, I can only speak from my personal experience, EasyDrummer is not the best, and Get Good Drums, although it's not as easy, it definitely sounds a lot better and a lot more realistic, and you also have a lot more options to kind of tweak how you want each individual drum to sound. I should probably get good drums up here. Get good drums. Get good drums. All right. So this is Get Good Drums. I'm not going to go into like how to do it because there's plenty of tutorials about how to use it. But just for now, just so you know what I'm doing. Look at that, it's a snare. Look at that, it's a kick drum. Alright, cool. So, Eurobass. This is like the most recent plugin I bought, and I'm really, really happy about it. This is actually basically a virtual bass instrument, and it was created by a guy who was really annoyed. I don't know if this is the reason, but he expressed how he was kind of annoyed with all these bassists, no offense to any bassists out there, but he was annoyed with bassists who just couldn't nail their parts. I don't know if that's exactly why he made it, but I know he said that at some point in the interview that I watched. But, so he made this plugin, really, really good bass tones, honestly, for a virtual instrument, and it sounds like pretty freaking real to me, like it sounds good. Again, I'm not going to go into a huge thing about each individual plugin. Let's see if I can actually get it up. That's what he said. Alright, so this is Eurobass. Really cool. I just want to show you, this is what I got. And this is what I used for bass tones, and I just started using on the last song that I did. And definitely the last song's bass, in my opinion, probably sounds the best out of any song I recorded. Imagine that. So yeah, this is freaking great. Bass tone, you got all this cool stuff that I'm not going to go into because there's a lot of videos about that already. I can make another one if you want, but this is generally just to show you what I'm doing. So this is Eurobass 2, apparently. This is my first little, it's not really a vlog or whatever, but it's just kind of a transparent kind of documentary kind of style thing. I just thought it'd be cool if, maybe to see what I do. I don't fucking know. Yep, so this is my glamorous setup. I hope you liked it. If you did like it and you want to subscribe, then do that because I post content every single week. And I'll see you in the next video.